My name is Serena. At a family meeting in my own house, my parents announced, "We're giving this house to your sister." For a moment, I actually thought I misheard them. My sister, Alina, was sitting on the sofa with a fake innocent smile, like she had been waiting for this reveal the whole time. My stomach dropped. The room suddenly felt too small, too quiet, too suffocating. I forced a breath. What? Mom didn't even blink. We've decided. She's getting married soon. She needs stability. A house of her own. A house of her own. This house. My house. The one I had been paying for, maintaining, fixing, improving for years. Dad folded his arms like he was reading out a court order. You're the older one. It's your duty to support your sister's future. Don't make this difficult. Shock burned into anger. My throat tightened, but my voice stayed calm. I've been paying the mortgage. I know, Mom said casually. And you can continue helping us, but the ownership will shift to her name. Alina looked at me with that familiar smirk, the kind of smile someone gives when they think they've already won. I didn't ask for this, she said sweetly, though her eyes said something else entirely. Years of memories flashed before me, late-night work to pay bills, repairs I handled alone, sacrifices I made because they said family comes first. And now that same family was slicing me out like I was nothing more than a placeholder. Something inside me snapped, not loudly, not violently, but quietly, like a door locking from the inside. I looked at all three of them. And in that moment, I wasn't the obedient child anymore. I wasn't the one who stayed silent. I wasn't the one who accepted everything just because family said so. I simply said, all right. They thought I had agreed. They thought I had surrendered. They thought the meeting was over. But as I walked away from that room, one thing became painfully clear. They had just started a war they didn't know I was prepared to win. Because this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The next morning, I woke up not to peace, but to the sound of Alina measuring my living room walls with a tape measure. This side will be our TV wall, she said loudly to Mom, pretending I wasn't even standing there. And that corner will be my vanity space. My jaw tightened. What are you doing? She didn't bother looking at me. Planning the renovations. Obviously. Mom chimed in, Beta, don't make this difficult. Alina needs everything ready before her wedding. My house. My bills. My years of sacrifice. And they were treating me like a guest who overstayed. For the next few days, their behavior shifted from disrespect to outright cruelty. Dad began telling me to contribute more because expenses were increasing. Mom started locking the kitchen at night, saying she was teaching me responsibility. And Alina? She walked around like a queen, giving orders, moving furniture, even telling relatives on calls. Finally, I'm getting the house I deserve. I stayed silent. Not out of weakness. But because silence is the sharpest weapon when used properly. Quietly, I began gathering proof, receipts, transaction slips, mortgage documents, 9 years of payments, renovations, maintenance all under my name. Every brick in this house carried my signature. And they had no idea. 3 days later, Dad called another family meeting. This time, the atmosphere was different, stiff, expectant, almost hostile. Dad cleared his throat. We need you to move your things out of the master bedroom. Alina wants that room after marriage. Alina added smugly, you can take the guest room. Or maybe the storage room. It doesn't matter. I looked at them. Each of them. Calm. Cold. Unshakable. Then I placed a thick file on the table. What's this? Dad asked. The truth, I said. Mom opened the file. Her face drained of color. Dad's hand started shaking. Alina leaned in and went silent. Inside were every legal document proving the house was legally, fully, unquestionably mine. "Why you tricked us," Mom whispered. "No," I replied. "You underestimated me." Dad's voice cracked. "So what are you going to do?" I leaned back, completely in control. "For now, nothing. But you don't give away something that never belonged to you." Their faces collapsed, fear, confusion, guilt all mixing together. And for the first time, they realized the house they tried to steal was the very house that now held their truth hostage. This wasn't revenge. This was justice beginning to rise. The house felt different the next morning, quiet, tense, almost holding its breath. My parents sat in the living room, waiting, their faces pale with the weight of everything they had tried to take. Dad finally spoke. "Beta, we were wrong." Mom's voice cracked. "We thought you wouldn't mind. We thought you'd stay silent like always." I looked at them, really looked. The guilt was real, but so was the damage. "I'm not throwing you out," I said calmly. "But things won't be the same. This house stays under my control. No more decisions behind my back. No more treating me like a backup plan." Alina stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "Are you cutting us off?" I shook my head. "I'm choosing myself. And from now on, I only give respect where I receive it." I picked up my packed bag, took one last look at the house, and walked out, not defeated, but finally free. I didn't lose a family. I found myself.